They tried to silence him. They tried to erase him. But some voices refuse to be buried. Some fires once lit can never be extinguished. Today, we're not just talking about a man from the history books. We're talking about an idea, a force of nature, a revolution in a single soul. Malcolm X, his journey is one of the most powerful stories of transformation you'll ever hear. A story of how a man named Malcolm Little became Malcolm X, and finally, El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz. A story they tried to end, but in doing so, made immortal. So, who was Malcolm Little? Born in Omaha, Nebraska, in 1925, his early life was marked by terror and tragedy. His family was constantly harassed by white supremacist groups. His father, an outspoken Baptist minister and supporter of black nationalist leader Marcus Garvey, was found dead under suspicious circumstances when Malcolm was just 6. Officially, it was ruled an accident. The family always believed it was murder. This event shattered his family. His mother, struggling to provide for 8 children in the depths of the Great Depression, eventually suffered a mental breakdown and was institutionalized. Malcolm and his siblings were scattered into foster care. Imagine being a young, brilliant boy told by your 8th grade teacher that your dream of becoming a lawyer was no realistic goal for That was Malcolm's reality. The world was telling him in no uncertain terms that his life had a ceiling, that his skin color defined his limits. Discouraged and disillusioned, he dropped out of school. He moved to Boston, then to Harlem, and fell into a life of crime. This was the era of Detroit Red, a sharp-dressing hustler, gambler, and burglar. His life on the streets eventually caught up with him, and in 1946 he was sentenced to 10 years in prison for burglary. But it was in the darkness of a prison cell that Malcolm Little found the light. Prison became his university. He devoured books in the prison library, reading everything from history and philosophy to religion. He famously copied the entire dictionary, word for word, to expand his vocabulary and articulate the rage and intellect boiling inside him. It was during this time that his siblings introduced him to the teachings of the Nation of Islam and its leader, Elijah Muhammad. The message resonated deeply. It gave him a framework to understand the systemic racism that had destroyed his family and oppressed his people. It offered an explanation, a sense of identity, and a path to redemption. He converted, dropped his slave name Little, and adopted the X to symbolize the lost tribal name of his African ancestors. When he was paroled in 1952, he wasn't Detroit Red anymore. He was Malcolm X, a disciplined, fiery, and incredibly articulate minister for the Nation of Islam. He rose through the ranks with astonishing speed. His charisma was undeniable. He was a brilliant orator who could dissect the complexities of racism with razor-sharp clarity. He preached black self-reliance, economic independence, and racial pride. He famously advocated for black liberation by any means necessary, a phrase that terrified white America and even unsettled some within the civil rights movement who were committed to nonviolence. For years, Malcolm X was the national spokesman for the Nation of Islam. He was the face of Black rage, the counterpoint to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s message of peaceful integration. While Dr. King spoke of his dream, Malcolm X spoke of the American nightmare. He didn't ask for a seat at the table. He demanded the right for Black people to build their own table. He argued that if you can't be a part of the American dream, you are well within your rights to dismantle the American nightmare. His speeches were electric, challenging both the white power structure and the Black community to wake up, to stand up, and to reclaim their dignity and their power. But the story doesn't end there. Malcolm X was a man in constant evolution. His brilliant mind never stopped questioning, never stopped searching for a deeper truth. He grew increasingly disillusioned with the leadership of Elijah Muhammad, discovering personal and financial hypocrisies within the organization he had dedicated his life to. In 1964, he made the painful and dangerous decision to break away from the Nation of Islam. This was a pivotal moment. He was now a man without a movement, a voice without a platform, and a target for those he had left behind. That same year, he embarked on a spiritual journey, a pilgrimage to Mecca, the Hajj. This trip would change him forever. In the holy city, he saw something that shattered his previous worldview. He saw Muslims of all colors, white, black, brown, yellow, worshipping together as equals. He wrote in a letter, "I have eaten from the same plate, drank from the same glass, and slept in the same bed with fellow Muslims whose eyes were the bluest of blue, whose hair was the blondest of blonde, and whose skin was the whitest of white." He realized that the true enemy wasn't the white man, but the racist ideology that poisoned society. He came back to America a new man, El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz. In his final year, his philosophy broadened. He renounced the blanket condemnation of all white people and began to speak of a more universal struggle for human rights. He founded the Organization of Afro-American Unity, aiming to connect the struggle of African Americans with the global fight against colonialism and oppression. He was building bridges, preparing for a new, more inclusive phase of his activism. He was becoming arguably more dangerous than ever to the established order, because his message was now one that could unite people across racial lines against a common enemy, injustice itself. He knew his time was short. He spoke openly about the threats against his life. "I do not expect to live long enough to see my hair turn grey," he said. On February 21, 1965, at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem, his prediction came true. As he stepped up to the podium to speak, he was assassinated in front of his wife and children. He was only 39 years old. They had silenced his voice, but they couldn't silence his message. In death, Malcolm X became an icon. His autobiography, co-written with Alex Haley, became a foundational text for Black pride and political consciousness around the world. His speeches are still studied, his words still quoted, his fire still inspiring new generations to question authority and fight for justice. From Detroit Red to Malcolm X to El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, His life is a testament to the power of transformation, the courage to speak truth to power, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge and justice. He showed us that it's okay to evolve, to change your mind when presented with new truths, and that the fight for freedom is a journey, not a destination. His legacy doesn't just live in history books. It lives in every mind that refuses to bow and every soul that dares to speak. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the incredible life of Malcolm X. If you found this story as powerful as I do, please give this video a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of people who changed the world. Let me know in the comments what part of Malcolm's story resonates with you the most. See you next time.